Hey friends, Dr. Mary here. Still kind of sweaty from my workout, but I wanted to come to you for our Wednesday Wellness because I've been getting some questions in. Some of you have been asking in our women only wellness group. Some of you have been asking me personally. So I always just kind of come in and address some of these, and I'll try to do this weekly as well. One of the first things you probably ask, what am I drinking? Of course, Ninja Red, one of my favorite antioxidant drinks, full of amino acids, minerals. It's my go-go juice. Today I've got some nice sparkling water in there as well because I've got an hour of or more of work left to do. Okay, so one of the questions that came in was about healing after an injury. So one of my friends, colleagues, I believe she has 6 or 7 children. She's been out RVing and she had broken her ankle. She's like, how can I heal it? What can I do? Well, number one thing in terms of bones, right, is you think about minerals and vitamins. Vitamin C is a great vitamin to help to heal the body, any kind of injury, sprained ankle, anything like that too. Making sure you have good calcium, magnesium, whether in your diet or you're adding extra, which you might want to add extra. And because I've worked with Ninja Red for so long, there's minerals, there's vitamins, there's vitamin C and a lot of the fruits in there as well. Obviously, higher doses of Ninja Red. She's already takes Ninja Red daily, so that is a good thing for her to do. But one thing that we don't think about when we're healing from an injury is protein. And I learned this last year with my sister-in-law when we were healing her bed wounds that went all the way to the bone, right? And how quickly her body, the only thing, she wouldn't take Ninja Red, she wouldn't take anything, but she took protein, like good protein. And we would do shakes and things like that. And like a couple a day at least, plus a protein meal. And the healing that she had was very rapid compared to, right, the wound care. So that really kind of aha. And when I've been working out and I'm sore on some days, I'm like, ooh, I didn't do my protein shake, my extra protein shake. I didn't have enough protein. So making sure, when I say enough, I'm not talking like 50 grams. I'm talking closer 75, 100 grams of protein a day. And Young Living has some great choices to help you do that, including our new vegan power meal, which is a favorite of mine because it doesn't have the added cane sugar and stuff like pure protein. So if you do pure protein once, you can also add the power meal too. Now, you may not be familiar with any of these products, but that's okay. Maybe you have your own products and things like that. This is just what I've worked with for the past 23 years. So this is my expertise, is working with Young Living essential oil products. Okay, so that is what I would recommend for that. And then in terms of oils and stuff too, I mean, we have to be careful because we can't diagnose and prescribe, but some of my favorites are lemongrass. Like lemongrass, I think lemongrass ligaments, right? So lots of lemongrass. Panaway oil is a great oil that I would be applying multiple times. There's so many good things in Panaway, including wintergreen clove, helichrysum, which is phenomenal. You can Google all of those. And the research on those two. Okay, so that is my recommendations for healing. Vitamin C, make sure you're good. Calcium, magnesium, Ninja Red. What else did I say? Protein, and then of course those oils as well. All right, next step, a question came in, and this is kind of an important one. And I think some of my chiropractic friends will most likely agree with me on this. So where is it? The question came in from another mom of many who's traveling in an RV and is finding it hard to make it to the chiropractic visits, because we stay in a place for 2. I'm looking for home chiropractor techniques. Do you have any suggestions on books or resources for me to help out my family of 8 with adjustments? I'm willing to learn and study. And a lot of times I think in our profession, the chiropractic profession, there's a misconception that if I, tilt my neck and there's a pop noise, right? Or I twist twist here and I pop my back, just like maybe when I go to the chiropractor, that is actually an adjustment. And although that is probably stretching the joint, but that noise itself is just nitrogen liquid turning to gas. That's what that actual noise is. There's 200 types of different chiropractic. Let's see, I had my activator, and there's types of chiropractic where you don't even make those noises. But chiropractic itself is actually kind of almost an art form, and it's very, very, very scientific. So we are at the doctor level, right? This isn't stretching. This isn't yoga. This is like the doctor level in terms of understanding it. And then there's a whole art to it as well in terms of palpation, being able to feel joint restriction, being able to understand, is this a nerve causing irritation? Is it a visceral condition, meaning like if I had a acid reflux, right? Acid reflux actually can cause this mid part of our back to be restricted a lot. But this part of our back, if it's restricted a lot, right, can also cause the valve in the esophagus to be loose and cause acid reflux. So you have to understand, is it a muscle, a joint, a nerve causing the problem, or is there that? But in just general wellness chiropractic care, we make sure that the joints are moving freely and the nerves are flowing freely. So that's a lot of what people don't realize, is that, we're nervous system doctors, right? Nervous system doctors. So I can't say that any chiropractor would be able to teach you necessarily chiropractic techniques, maybe very mild or little, pressure and things like that. But on the other hand, there's lots of things that you can do so you stay out of the chiropractic office. I'll tell you, I saw Dr. Lisa in July, but honestly, I have had to go to my chiropractor so much less often because I got healthy and strong, right? I took the weight off my body, and this family is very health conscious. They work out quite a bit. I've seen them in the gym with their little ones, right? The dad and the little ones, like this is their family. They're very health conscious already. So staying strong, making sure that core is strong. And sadly, I'll show you sometimes with my own son who has some muscle deficiencies and stuff, what's happening in his spine that we need to work on. Because when the muscles are weak or tight, that's when the joints get restricted. So can you strengthen the muscles? Can you, guys, I love the Pilates technique that, and because this mom has had a lot of kids too, the Pilates technique of just making sure that your core, like even when you're standing at doing the dishes and stuff like that, right? So I'm making sure I'm tucked in, so I'm tightening my buttocks area here. I'm pulling in the pubic bone, but I'm pushing down the navel, right? So these two are tight in there, right across here, making sure my ribs are down, my shoulders are back, okay? So this is a position that is even kind of hard right now for me to do, and maybe hard, like you may only be able to hold it for 10 seconds. 10 seconds or so and stuff. So that is when your guys are driving, you can be doing that. So tightening this and will make not only your adjustments hold longer, but make it so you don't have to go to the chiropractor. So a lot of core stability for the whole family, even the little ones, right? Now the little ones don't need to be lifting heavy weights and things like that, but that core stability, we're seeing a lot of that. So the second thing that you can do too is just joint rotation. So a lot of people who work at desk all day, a lot of people working from home, you just start your day or take a couple of breaks, and you can start with the neck, right? Rolling the neck. Okay, maybe 5 times that way, nice and slow, right? And 5 times the other way, then the shoulders. And I remember this with a woman who had really serious injuries and trauma. And she said, Mary, this keeps me so able to do the work she did, which was very physical work. She was a massage therapist, and from the injuries that she had. So she, 5 that way, 5 forward. Okay, so these, the wrist, because a lot of people don't think of chiropractic as just the spine. It's not. It's the extremities as well. Some chiropractors do that. Then the waist. Oh boy. I really need this today. Oh my goodness. I went for a jog today after doing a really hard workout yesterday. So I'm pretty tight. All right, so the other way as well. Now these joints. Okay, we can hear that popping both ways. The knees aren't going to go around and around, but you can go, make sure you're doing back and forth. The ankles, right? So you've done that, but how can you stretch the spine? Now the spine, this is another Pilates technique too, is that you're going to come against a straight wall, just like this, right? As tight as you can. Some of us, our butts will make us come out a little bit more, but shoulders back, and then you're just going to slowly tuck, and you're going to roll all the way down, one vertebra at a time. Oh my goodness, I am quite tight. Trying to keep your legs back. I can see the part of my spine that needs more strength. I can feel it, because it's that part of your spine, and then you're going to roll up, tightening inside too, that you can't do one vertebra at a time. So my kind of mid to low back is tight. So I need to do this more often too. So that will help that. So mobility, right? Mobility will be very important. So mobility is getting the rotations, these in. A lot of this tightness comes up because the muscles and the joints are so tight because the muscles are holding everything up, right? Our shoulders become earrings. So mobility exercises, doing the wall exercises as well. And then in our family too, you guys can do just regular stretching, right? So regular stretching. One of the things, your spine and your joints in here, if you are not regularly stretching the hamstrings, the quads, the piriformis, which are these muscles, we'll do a stretching class someday, but I'll teach you that. But regularly making sure that you're stretching, from the hips down. So there's mobility, but then those stretching exercises will help your kids quite a bit, and you all. And then more of, was that static stretches, but more active stretches, just like they do. And I know you guys, some of you watching, you do a lot of video, like Beachbody has a lot of different videos, or you do YouTube videos. There's not enough stretching in those. There is, a chiropractic opinion, not enough stretching, especially those 30-minute workouts. They're just trying to get you in and get your heart pumping or get whatever they need done. They're great programs, but there's not enough stretching. You've got to take the time to stretch. Just like you've got to take the time to strengthen the core. Strengthen the core, mobility, and stretching. And then you can do extra stretching for your kids. One of the ones that we do a lot in our family too will be just stretching the neck, taking the fingers back and stretching. That's maybe technically massage, chiropractic, but we do a lot of that stretching the neck, right? And stretching the neck over, just gentle. Most people can do this themselves. Stretching the neck forward, a little bit to the side. This muscle right in here causes a lot of dizziness if it's super tight. Just stretch the neck to the other side. Awesome. I can't see your comments. Is this helpful? Is this information helpful to you? So that is what I would recommend in the base to do that. Can you absolutely press on somebody's back and free up some of those joints? Probably yes, but it's not an exact adjustment. If that is something because you're so tight and you need to do, well, you need to do it. But true joint restrictions, usually you have to have the force in a particular way. It might need a particular tool, all of that, if that makes sense. So I don't believe that there's anything that you can just study online or books wise, but you can definitely learn to do more active stretching, more mobility, and even maybe stretching for like couples and things like that, like where you have two people. Okay, so the third question that came in this week was, how do I know that what I'm using is safe? Like, how do I know what I'm using? So it's particularly about, somebody asked about shampoo. How do I know this shampoo is safe? Because a lot of times you'll see something that says natural or has, lavender in it or something like that. And it's not necessarily the case that it is an all natural product. It just has a portion of something, maybe natural, maybe not, in it. So for 23 years, I have been working with a company who has a promise to us called Seed to Seal. And in that Seed to Seal, they make sure what they are, that the essential oils in particular, they are growing, distilling, that there's no additives, that the ground, that's another thing people don't think about, is your product may not have any additives, but what did they put in the ground, right? In the past few years, 20 plus years, a lot of Roundup, weed killer, glyphosate is becoming detrimental to our digestive tracts, to our children especially. Even simple things like hummus is one of the most highly pesticide product, like natural hummus. We all love hummus, but you got to get organic because it's just so full of glyphosates. And I can do a whole nother Wednesday wellness, maybe I will, on glyphosates and stuff like that. And even what happened for my own daughter with it was really scary. So when you're looking at, say, a shampoo or something like that, you're going to look for, okay, does it have the word fragrance in it? Fragrance, which we all love, or maybe you love or you don't, can have dozens, if not hundreds of other chemicals in it. So our government regulates that fragrance is allowed to have things that maybe even aren't good for us. Okay, secret ingredients even. So be careful of that too. And most of the time too, when you get more natural, using natural, you'll be able to smell the difference between a chemical fragrance and a natural fragrance. The next thing you want to look for is sodium lauryl sulfate, contaminated a lot of times with carcinogens, 1,4-dioxane. So sodium lauryl sulfate, and I know there's a different type of sodium lauryl something or other. I think it's in this shampoo that comes more from coconut, but this one can be contaminated, but regular sodium lauryl sulfate can be contaminated with carcinogen 1-dioxane, which is going to causes cancer over time. But Dr. Mary, how come, the government gives it to us? Because in very small amounts, right? It may not be harmful, but over the years, over decades, it is harmful. And our children that are growing up, they're already full of a lot of toxins that we and or our parents and grandparents were just never exposed to. So it's pretty big. How are you doing, guys? I see you guys, my friends from Canada and New York. Okay, so we're talking about chemicals and how do I know something's safe. Another thing is parabens. A lot of parabens have been, so you're going to look at your ingredient. Does it have parabens in it? Because that's been linked to breast cancer. And something called DMDM hydination, which releases the carcinogen of formaldehyde. And this is a big one too, with a lot of products, carpets, things like that too. So looking at your stuff on your shelf, you want to look and see what does it have in it. And like if you want to be the purist says if you can't eat it, you shouldn't wear it. So you have to decide, right? So there's a period of time where I colored my hair, but I did a lot of other good things for my body. So I drank water. I didn't have a lot of chemicals. I didn't do a lot of wine and beers and stuff like that, which are highly glyphosate pesticide products. Go figure, right? If you're going to do beers and wines, go organic. So you have to pick and choose what's best for you. Like you may have to have great hair all the time and you may need products like that, but what other things? Can you get rid of the perfumes and start using Young Living essential oils instead, like Joy or Stress Away, or, you know, find a favorite all natural perfume. Can you use more natural deodorants? Real important, women, that we're not using a lot of antiperspirants and stuff like that. So you have to choose, but that's how you tell if there's toxic. Those are just a few things if there's toxic chemicals in your products. And so those are the 3 questions that came in. I hope this was super helpful for you. If you want to be a part of our free woman only group, wellness group, where we encourage, we talk about weight loss in there, we talk about essential oils, we give you some recipes every week, and sometimes we have some fun too, and little fun giveaways, some challenges. We got a water challenge coming up soon. I would love for you to join me. And don't forget, speaking of water, we have a water project that we're working on. If you want to be a client of our Total Wellness, of myself or any one of my team members, this month you are going to help contribute to building a well in Pakistan, one of the most war-torn countries, very persecuted for Christians. We are going out to a remote village and making sure that we provide water, a water hand well pump, provide that for a remote village. So that's going to provide for about 25 families with about 7 to 10 people in the family each. So our goal is to hit that by October 1st. I hope you'll help us. You can do that 3 ways. 1, you can become a new client of ours. Every new client in our whole organization, myself and all the brand partners that I work with, $1 will be donated. The second way that you can help is that you can your family can be a part of helping. We're asking if families or other brand partners want to be a part, raise $100 over the next 2 months. And you can do that a lot of ways. You can do that with selling things around the house. You can ask for that. You can, a lot of different ways that we have in store for you. And the third way you can help is to promote our project. I will put some links in the comments for you to promote that for us, and I would so appreciate that. All right, you guys have a good Wednesday wellness, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.